What's good, y'all? It's Tragic Curtain. We back with a brand new video today, and today I would like to introduce a new series to my channel. So this series is the Purpose and Dream series, and basically what the Purpose and Dream series is I'm gonna be analyzing different anime and manga and how they explore and show the theme of one's purpose and dreams. Today we're gonna be starting off with Attack on Titan, and I hope you guys enjoy this series because I feel like I will. And let's start with the video.
We humans, we're all the same. Every last one of us. For some it's drinking, for some it's women, for some even religion. Family, the king, dreams, children, power. All of us had to spend our lives drunk on something, else we'd have no cause to keep pushing on. Everyone was a slave to something. Even him.
Now, initially, Attack on Titan was really made out to be a series on pure survival and prevailing against all odds, no matter how low or how severe the method. When we start off in the first episode, that's the vibes it gave off. When we go on and we see the series evolve, we start to see that the main driving force is really the purpose and dreams of each character around us and how that elevates the story to even greater heights. Now, let me explain. Because of this, it brings the most interesting character growth and dynamics that we see within the story. So first of all, let's start off when we see Eren and Armin, and we see them speaking about their dreams and trying to find their own purpose. And we see Armin talking about wanting to see the sea, and Eren picking up that same dream and wanting to join the scouts in order to see the outside world and be free from the walls. This brings me to something Eren said a little later in the series.
I had a flashback to the day that you showed me your parents' book. Before then, I'd never even considered the world beyond the walls. I would just spend my days staring up at the clouds. But then, I heard your story and saw the look in your eyes. They were filled with this amazing dream, like nothing I'd known for myself. That's the day I realized that I had never been free. The world was as vast as our cage was small. Those monsters had stolen it from us. Once I realized that, I couldn't forgive them. Couldn't tell you why, but when I think of that lost freedom, I feel strong, fearless in a way. Thanks for that, Armin.
Now, from the conversation with Armin alone, we already see Eren wanting to become a scout and see the world. And then, when the attack on Shiganshina happens, we see him now also want to completely exterminate Titans and free his people. So basically, Eren's now driving purpose is to achieve freedom. And even as a child, we see that freedom is always something that Eren would go as far as to kill for. And this brings me to another part in the series when Eren and his friends seek out the Commandant to learn more about his father. And he says something really interesting here.
Is that why you risk your life to venture outside the walls? To see how wide the world is?
That's right. Does it seem foolish?
No, quite the opposite. The scouts are wiser and braver than anyone else living within the walls. Their very existence is living proof that the imagination and soul of mankind are still free.
That's what you think? Seriously?
What this quote does is it pushes the narrative of Attack on Titan being about one's purpose and dreams more than anything else, and how that's something worth risking your life for. And we see this narrative shown through the use of many different characters. Now let's start off with Erwin. We see Erwin's purpose is literally just to just find out the truth of the walls and the Titans, and in order to do that, he needs to reach Eren's father's cellar, Grisha. Now, Erwin has stated many times throughout the series that this is his goal, and he views that cellar as being the key to saving humanity. And this in turn causes Erwin to make many sacrifices just to get to that cellar. We see Erwin putting the cellar above himself, his own life, and above others many times in the series. When we finally reach Erwin's final moments and his speech with Levi before his death and all that, we see how far he was truly ready to go, even giving up on his own dream of seeing it himself just for everybody else to reach the cellar. This shows how Attack on Titan really stressed the importance of one's purpose and how one would put the greater good and their dreams above their own life. Even after seeing how badly Erwin himself wanted to see the cellar, he was able to lay down his life for everyone else to uncover the truth and help humanity survive. And this reminds me of a quote from Armin earlier in the series when he realizes just how far Erwin was ready to go to prevail against the Titans.
To rise above monsters, we have to abandon our humanity. When we fight, we become fire with fire. Look at her. Annie can do it.
And this just shows us how close and dear the dream of reaching that cellar was to Eren, even sacrificing himself and many soldiers just to rescue Eren, who was humanity's hope, from Bertolt and Reiner, ready to sacrifice his own life. When we see him get bitten by a Titan, he, without any hesitation, told them to keep pushing forward, and even while being crippled, decided to join the mission to retake Walmaria. A man who abandoned his own humanity and made the sickest of sacrifices just to see his dream come true. Eren wholeheartedly embodied what he believed as his purpose, only to fall short of it at the end. But we somehow see his dreams realized in the sense of Paradise Island achieving freedom. And I say this to say that Eren wasn't the only one chasing a dream. We see someone who, like Eren, embodied a dream and would do anything to get it, but was on the opposite side of the spectrum. And that's where I feel like Attack on Titan gets really interesting, because we see the selfishness and selflessness of one's purpose and dreams throughout the series, and we see one specific character embody the selfishness more than anything. And the one character that inspired this video is Kenny Ackerman. Kenny is the very embodiment of striving for your dreams, and that the shattering of a dream is something seen as worse than death, and we'll get to that in a second. When we were first introduced to Kenny, we really couldn't figure him out at all. We just see him dropping bodies, ready to kill Levi, who we later find out that he raised. Now, we see that Kenny's ultimate dream was simply to gain power. No matter what the power was, he just wanted to gain it. And he would go to any amount of lengths to get it, sacrifice anyone just to reach his own selfish dream. He went so far as continuously trying to kill his own nephew, Levi, that he raised because he was in his way of reaching that power. Kenny shows the selfish and unrelenting side of chasing one's dreams within Attack on Titan better than anyone else in the series. We see him create his own anti-personnel team that we've seen in Season 3, tasked to help him reach these dreams. And when he finally finds out that the power he wanted to get, that he wanted to obtain, couldn't be obtained, and he finds out that he was just used as a means for someone else's gain of power, it completely shattered and broke him, and he stopped fighting, as he had no more reason to fight. We see him truly give up. In that moment, we see Kenny finally defeated. In his final moments, we see Kenny accept everything and realize how we're all just slaves to our own purpose and our own dreams. And I truly believe Kenny was the greatest character used to portray that specific theme in Attack on Titan, because this really just shows that with the grotesque reality that the characters face in Attack on Titan, they still have a selfish driving force to see their own dreams be a reality. A dream that we see they're all willing to sacrifice not only themselves but others for. And Kenny being the direct opposite of Eren, being selfish for his dream but being the same as him as putting his dream above necessary sacrifices, while Eren being deemed as generally selfless as his dream was to help humanity, and Kenny being really selfish as his dream was to only help himself. And with these extreme opposites of Eren and Kenny, we really see Isayama find a way to balance this out through the main character, through Eren. We see Eren's goal is simple. Eren's goal was simply freedom. Freedom from the walls, freedom from the Titans, just freedom. And we see Eren's character shape and become something very, very different, while his dreams and purpose, at its core, it does stay the same.
The world I found outside the walls, and the world I always dreamed of, are nothing alike. It's so different from the place I saw in Armin's book. When I learned that humanity had survived out here, I felt it. I've never been so let down. I made a wish. That all of it would be wiped away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And Eren changes, and the freedom we once thought he wanted appears very different to the end. Eren was really a character who didn't really believe in sacrificing others unless it was those trying to kill him or trying to take something away from him. But he did believe in self-sacrifice for the greater good. Now we see that clear in like the first few episodes of Season 1 when he let himself get eaten for Armin's sake and for Armin to achieve his dream. And he was ready by all means to protect Mikasa and Armin from the military. But as the series progresses, we begin to see Eren change bit by bit as he gets to see more of the world and what it's really like. Once he becomes a scout, and Eren's purpose evolves and turns into something really sinister, and this is clearly expressed when we see his expression after holding Historia's hand and seeing the future with the Founding Titan. Now, starting out, we see Eren's purpose was to just kill all the Titans, and that purpose evolved from simply just wanting to kill all Titans, as he saw them as his greatest enemy and obstacle, to breaking free from the cage he felt he was put in. But when Eren sees the truth of the world, his purpose really molds into something way crazier. And this is where I say Eren is the balance between Erwin and Kenny's extremes, as Erwin was really selfless and Kenny was extremely selfish. Eren wants to kill the rest of the world in order to save his friends on Paradise Island and save the Eldians, yet in the process he kills lots of innocent people and children, which he once blamed Reiner and Bertolt for doing. We see Eren start to recreate the cycle which he once hated and blamed. Not only that, he also kills innocents on Paradise Island when he activated the rumbling, and this is where the balance comes in, as Eren's act can be deemed selfish due to the nature of completely killing everybody else besides Paradis, but in the grand scheme, extremely selfless, as in the end he set up everything for he himself to be sacrificed in order to secure the safety of Paradise Island from the outside world and to make his friends look like heroes to the world for killing him. Now, to be honest, I could really sit here and just talk about Eren's character and choices all day, but that would be a 10-hour video and we don't got time for that. From this, we just really see Eren fully embrace the themes of one's purpose and one's dreams, as his dreams were to be free from the shackles of the world his father and everyone else placed on him. He broke free from the limits of the Founding, free from the walls, free from the hate of the world, and destroyed all in his path just to achieve that freedom, and in turn completed his purpose in saving his island and his friends, making the ultimate sacrifice, a purpose Eren saw greater than his own life, in order to make them become the heroes of the world, whilst removing the whole outside world who hated and despised them. Eren truly is the embodiment of this theme, and I feel like him, Erwin, and Kenny portrayed this in Attack on Titan the best. But that's it for today, guys. I might make a part 2 to Purpose and Dreams for Attack on Titan, because I feel like there's a lot that I didn't cover in this video, and in this series there's also going to be a lot more Purpose and Dreams videos for different anime and manga. If you have any recommendations or any videos you want me to cover, any series you want me to cover, just write it down in the comments. Have an amazing day, guys.